So Invincible Season 5 was announced that their voice acting just got done a couple weeks ago, and I'm just going to say this now, they are not going to give these animators enough time to actually go home and see their families before this series is actually done and finished. I'm just going to say that now. Look, I'll be the last person to say it, because everybody has actually said it. I love Oh, you thought I was going to do the title card? I'll do it, you just don't know when. Look, I love this show so much. I think it's one of the best shows that is actually out there for at least the superhero TV medium. And I think that in terms of like the season 1, I love season 1. And season 3 is actually really, really good too. The problem with season 2 is that they don't have like that mystery, or they don't have really that build up to something besides Angstrom. And Angstrom, in my opinion, wasn't that strong of a villain because he wasn't there that much. But season 1, you had Omni-Man. Season 3, you had, of course, the whole Invincible War and Conquest building up to that. And then you had the whole black suit thing where he's just acting a little bit more angsty and whatnot. I really do like this show a lot, and I've already read the comics twice, which is why I'm making this video, because I love this character Dinosaurus, and what they did to him in the show compared to the comics, oh, they massacred my boy. Oh my goodness gracious. I'm just saying, look, he looks so smooth. I really have a problem. I think I have a problem with this art style. It's not the animation, it's the art style. And also the fact that they aren't given really a lot of time to finish this, which I'll get into in a minute. But the art style is very under-designed compared to, of course, the comics. And I understand that these animators can't like animate the same thing over and over and over and over again with the same level of detail, like at least with the time that they are giving, which again I'll get into in a second. But I'm just saying here that Dinosaurus just looks so detailed in every single freaking panel that he is in, every single page that he is in. He is one of the most detailed characters in here. Well, I already know what he's going to look like in some of the more iconic moments. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I don't want to spoil it for you, but there are very iconic moments where he's fighting Invincible and things happen with Invincible. And I just don't think that they're going to live up to that moment when things happen. So I'm just saying here that with Dinosaurus, and even with like Conquest too, this is a problem that's been going on since the very, very beginning. A lot of these characters, when they're talking or just walking around, or when they're just like, you know, themselves, when they are just like the design themselves, when you look at them, they look too smooth, they look too flat. This is why so many people freaked out when Mark had his hair flowing in his freaking wind when he got knocked out against Conquest. Like, everybody was like, holy shit, this looks like the comics. And I'm like, yeah, this looks like a whole brand new show. And they make self-deprecating jokes like that, and it's just bonkers. And in my opinion, I think it has something to do with the budget and also the timing that they have for the show as well. Like, a lot of this budget goes to celebrity casting, and it's like, holy crap, do we really need Jonathan Banks, freaking Kid Finger, Mike Ehrmantraut as Brit? I mean, I don't even remember Brit's lines. I shit you not. I don't remember a single thing that Brit said in like the last 2 episodes, which I think he was in, or he was maybe just in the last episode. I don't even remember. I don't remember. So when I know that he's a little bit, he's not even slightly important in the future comics, I don't think. He does one thing with like the squids, the Martian squids that might come back that got teased in the finale. But I'm just like, you know what I mean? Why would you spend maybe hundreds of thousands of dollars on that one actor? Same thing with Aaron Paul too. And I love Powerplex in this show. I also loved him in the comics, but bro, he's only there for like at least a couple storylines, and not even like for a long time too. He's there for a little bit. And I'm like, damn, you know how much budget they are spending on these actors? Not to mention the fact that The Boys gets like 20 times the amount that Invincible does. At least the first couple of seasons did. And even still, it's like, I think Invincible is a lot better of a show than The Boys. I like The Boys, but even still, The Boys, season 1 and 2, good. Season 3 and 4, meh. And now that we're getting into season 5 of the last season, they probably are spending so much money on this that it makes Invincible look like nothing compared to the last couple of seasons. So I'm like, damn, they're putting more money into a show that, in my opinion, doesn't really deserve it, into a show that really, really needs it. And then you also have just the fact that it's Amazon. They're a multi-billion-dollar company. They can't throw more money at the show, and they can't really keep it more relevant within the next couple of years by just, I don't know, just somewhat keeping a social media presence, which they already have. I feel like they can easily keep the show relevant. They keep those animators at least giving them 2 or 3 more years to actually detail these characters. And yes, people are going to complain that it's taking so long for these freaking 8 episodes, but Jesus Christ, I will gladly take quality over quantity. And if they do the last 2 seasons, if they take a very long break with the last 2 seasons, whether it be 8 and 9 or 9 and 10, however long seasons they take for the finale of this, I really hope they take their time. I really hope that they like at least take a year or 2 extra to really jot down this and get it perfect, because I don't know if I could really stand. I'm accepted of it, but I don't know if I could stand that type of flat art style for the entire time. But you know what I mean? Like, it's Amazon, bro. They have so much money. They could spend so much on this without even losing a dime, and they'll actually earn more because it would be better, and the better quality, the better be, you know? They want to get so much bad word of mouth on Twitter and YouTube and online where people are looking at that and they're like, maybe I'll give the show a chance later on. They could actually have some relevancy right now. You get those memes where people are like, oh man, I see this animated show or I see this animated show and I sigh. I look at the Creatures Commando trailer, or I'm sorry, I look at the Creatures Commando show, and I look at the Invincible trailers where they announce season 2 and they're showing off season, or they're about to announce season 3. Bro, those guys literally are corn animators. Yes, I'm censoring myself. They are corn animators. And I'm telling you right now, I think that they would have made a better looking Invincible show than whoever animated style or animated studio they're using now, or whatever they're doing. If those people that made Creatures Commando made Invincible, I think that we would get something very similar to what the comics got, very detailed. And actually, it's just funny to talk about how these people have made that type of like content, but they also made the Invincible trailers, and it makes me so upset how they try to make those Invincible trailers look like that, but then the show looks nothing like that. You know, it's like they have proper lighting, they have proper shading, but when you look at the show, it's like you don't know what sun the direction is coming from. And it's like, I might not be an animator, I might not be an artist, I might draw a horrible Invincible if I tried right now. But god damn it, I'll try to give them some shading and some freaking shadows on them. And it doesn't seem like that happens at all in the show. Again, I'm just pointing out the very obvious here. And some of the characters look flat, and when they look under design, they look even flatter. In my opinion, this isn't the animator's fault. In my opinion, if they were given enough time and enough, like, you know, freedom, and weren't forced to try to pump out as many seasons as possible, as soon as possible, then I think that they could, you know, make something one-to-one to what the comics is in many ways, or at least design these characters in a proper way that translates better onto the screen. And people will say, well, comic to animation won't work. Yes, it would. Yes, it would. Let's not stop. Dude, they do that with anime all the time. There's so many mangas that they do 1-for-1 with the or they do it even better. It's like, let's not shit ourselves here. They could do that with the comics too if they wanted to. And it's that they're not given enough time and they're not given enough freedom to make it look like that. And if they were, then I think that things would be just so much better. They were given proper time to actually make a, you know, flowing animation, kind of like what they do at the end of the season every single time, but for the whole season. They were given that time and weren't cutting corners like they admit that they do inside the show themselves. Again, I think I just have a problem with the art style. Like, again, if they were just like kind of shading the characters a little bit more, or at least like detailing them a little bit more, I wouldn't really have that much of a problem with the animation or the art style. But it's so evident and obvious that it's kind of sad to see. And I hope that future seasons kind of improve upon it, but I don't see it happening. But overall, the show is great. I think that this show is one of the best comic book shows out there. Do I think that it could be better and that things could look better? 100%. But it's kind of like that gameplay or that gaming aspect where, you know, what's important is more gameplay and story than it is actually, I guess, the graphics. And in this case, the graphics are the art style, and the gameplay is the action, and the story is, of course, what we're adapting from the comics, which they're doing very, very well. And I can't really shit them on that. So, in my opinion, the show can be better. I think a lot of people can admit that. I think a lot of people can say that the show can be better. Right? And if not, then I guess you can live in that type of fantasy world where everything is just perfect for you. But I'm not like one of those fanboys that just think everything's a masterpiece and that, you know, you just have no understanding of it and that you just are wrong all the time. You know what I mean? Like, there are things that are kind of wrong with the animation here, and I wish that things were better. And dinosaurs really put me onto that. So thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe for more videos in the future. I'll see you guys in my next one. Peace out.